Okay, here we go with the simulated game. One thing I didn't mention before was that anything that is not in play, say, for instance, right now I hit a stolen base or a sacrifice, it simply counts as a ball because there is nobody on base, therefore nobody to move. So everything counts for something. If I hit an area of the board that is not in play, it counts as a ball. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. And here we go. Top of the first, home team pitching. I'm going to go ahead and just start aggressive and aim at the bullseye. That's a foul. Strike one. That's a hit. That's an out at first. So I will mark the out here in my temporary score area. And I will take my darts back and go back to finish the inning. That is a ball, just barely. Ball one. That's a hit. And I missed him. I tried to throw him out at first and I missed. And I ended up hitting single. So that's not good for me. What that ends up doing is, since I missed the runner at first, that means he moves to second, and the single that I hit ends up putting runners at first and second with one out. So, in my advanced rules, with a runner in scoring position and one out, if I hit an out right now, that would score that runner on second and move up the runner on first to second. Now, if you're not playing such advanced rules, then maybe you would just move that runner one base on an out, or maybe not move them at all. So that's just a little example of how you can establish handicap within the rules. You can also establish handicap by moving back on the Alki or pitching rubber, whatever you want to call it. If you got two players that just keep putting up nothing but goose eggs, then you might want to take a step back on the rubber. Anyway, let's move on with the game. So I'm not going to be aggressive at this point. I'm not going to aim at the bullseye. What I need to do is get a strikeout. So I'm going to start aiming at the strikes in the outer strike zone. Now, look at what happened. I hit a sacrifice. So that means, in my advanced rules, that I get an out, but that runner on second scores. And that runner on first moves up to second. So I still got two darts in my hand, and we'll mark that after I finish throwing them. That's a strike and a ball. So we have a 1-1 on the next batter. This guy scored on the sacrifice, so that's one run and one out. And then this guy moved up. So I'm just going to erase that guy. I have a 1-1 count. Two outs, one run scored, and a runner on second. I think that I should probably just try to strike this guy out to be safe. So I'm going to aim at strikes. That's another strike, so 1 and 2, and strikeout. So I'm out of the inning, but not without allowing one run to score. So I mark it in the box score. I erase my info, I take out my darts, and I hand them to the next player, which is me, because I'm playing myself. So now I am the pitcher for the visitors, and the home team has the chance to score. Let's start aggressive, aiming at the bullseye. Oop, I miss. Ball one. I still got two darts in my hand. I'm going to keep going with the plan. Missed again. That's a foul. So one and one count. I only got one dart in my hand. Not going to aim at the bullseye. Okay, it's a foul. So 1 and 2. And that's a strikeout. So 1 out, 2 darts in my hand. Let's go ahead and be aggressive. That's a hit. And that's an out at first. So I got the strikeout, and then I got a throw out at first. So there's 2 outs. I need 1 more out to get out of this inning. That's a hit and a punch out at first. So I will mark my box score 0, and I will erase my temporary information. Just showing the etiquette here, I will take my darts and hand them to my opponent, which again is me. And now I'm the home team again. Pitching. Strike. That is a hit, almost a bullseye. Oh, and I missed him at first, but I ended up getting the out. So in the more advanced rules, that runner would move on the out. So he would be at second, and I'd get the out, but now I'm in trouble because in the advanced rules, even an out will bring that runner in scoring position in with 1 out. So what I'm going to do is be conservative and see if I can just get some strikeouts here. Oh, stolen base. So now that runner just moved to third. Foul, strike 1. And sacrifice. So he moved to third, and then on the sacrifice scored, but I got an out from the sacrifice, so we'll mark the run and the outs in the temporary score. Bases are cleared now. It's a good example of a stolen base and a sacrifice. That's a hit and an out at first. That's a good example of a throw out at first. So I did allow 1 run, and I will erase that. Showing etiquette, I take my darts out and hand them to my opponent, which again is me. And now I am the visitors pitching. Bottom of the second. That's a foul, strike 1. That's a ball, sacrifice, not in order, and a strike. So 1 and 2 count. Still 1 and 2, that's a foul. And a strikeout. That's 1 out, I got 1 dart left in my hand. Not going to aim at the bullseye, obviously, because I have nothing to defend it. So I get a strike. That was a close one, though. I almost hit first base. So that's in 1 out from the strikeout and 1 strike on the next batter. If I had hit first base, that would have been a single because it was not after a hit in the center zone. Oh, look at me, giving up home runs. So that is a solo home run. And I got 2 darts left in my hand. I think I'm going to say that's a bullseye. Yep. So I did give up a home run, but I hit the bullseye immediately after. I was aiming at it, hoping to get a throw out at first had I missed it, but I got lucky and hit it, but not after giving up the run, of course. So we'll mark that. I'm out of the inning, and I will take my darts. I will hand them to my opponent, which is, again, me. Now I am the home team pitching. Top of the third. Strike one. Strike two. Foul. 0-2 count. Oh, ball. 1-2. That's a strikeout. It's 1 out, and I got 1 dart in my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it somewhere safe, and I get a strike. So there's my out. 1 strike on the next batter. Oh, and anyway, here we go. That's a ball. 1-1. 1-2. That was a foul. And another foul. Still 1-2. And that's a strikeout. That's a strike. And that's an out. So I was trying to get that one over quickly. So I ended up with another strikeout and then another out zone out. So that got me a 0 inning there. One of the most interesting aspects of this game that I've found over the years is how much it can actually resemble the real game of baseball. That's a strike. Sometimes that's another strike. There can be a lot of action, and that's a strikeout. And other times it can be like watching paint dry, much like the real thing. It's a strike, another strike, and another strike. See if we can go for 3 strikes out, 3 strikeouts in an inning on this one. Why not? There's 1. There's 2. That's a foul, but still strike. And strike 3. 3 strikeouts in an inning. And another goose egg. So one of the things about handicap, there's handicap within the game rules, changing what outs mean. You know, if runners move, how many bases they move. But another handicap that you can employ is using the Alki or the pitching rubber. If you have a player that keeps over and over getting goose eggs, then maybe after 3 innings of that, you tell them to take a step back on the rubber. So that's what I'm going to do right now, just to give you an idea of how it works when you're playing maybe one really good dart thrower against a novice. And that's a strike. That's a hit. Oh, and I missed him at first. And I landed on the strike. So there he is at first. And I got 1 strike on the batter and no outs. There's an out. That moves the runner. There's a foul strike. And another foul. Close one though. So we got 2 strikes on that batter. We got 1 out, but that moved that runner. So we want to keep going with these punch outs because in the advanced big league rules, that guy's going to score on an out or anything, and that's a strike, so that's 2 outs. Now that I got 2 outs, I have no fear of just trying to get an out, so I'm gonna kind of go in that area. That's 1 strike, and there's my out. So I escaped the inning. I had a strikeout, and then I just got 1 out. That runner never went anywhere. High drama, but no cigar. Just like in the real game. Happens all the time. Here we go. Bottom of the 4th. The visitors are pitching. Home team chance to score. Almost a bull, but that's a hit. That's an out at first, just barely. And an out. So that's an example of you can get 2 outs in 1 hand. I have a expression for that. I call it 2 out in hand. And sometimes I will actually mark things in the box score to record what happened within the game. I have another way of doing that, kind of an arbitrary scoring system. That's a hit and an out at first. So yeah, I will have to cover that in some future date, but there is a way of marking these zeros that you get in such a way that can kind of tell you what happens in the game. So after the game's over, you can look back at the box score and pretty much know what happened. Kind of like in real baseball when you're a good scorekeeper. And that is a bull. First pitch, bullseye. Beautiful. Maybe it's time to take another step back on the rubber. Here we go. Maybe another step back on the rubber now. That's another bullseye. Straight out of the inning. Sometimes it goes that way. And I'm 2 steps back on the rubber now. Oh, see how that dart's coming in real long? So that's a strike. Oh, and I gave up a home run. See, so this is kind of like how the handicap moving back on the rubber ends up effective. Now you have a really good dart thrower that is at a disadvantage, and now he's giving up home runs. So he's pretty much on the same level as whoever he's playing. And there's a foul for the next one. I will mark that solo home run there. And 1 strike on the batter. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and step back on the rubber just because this is a tutorial here. But yeah, that's how we do it in the real games, and it keeps things interesting. Good example of that. There's a foul, that's 2 strikes, I believe. Another foul, still 0-2. And that's in the ball zone. You can barely tell, but 1 and 2 count. People also walk too in this game. It does happen. You could even intentionally walk. And that is a punch out. It's 1 out, 2 outs, and another strike on the batter. So that's 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 strike. We gave up 1 run earlier. 2 strikes. Still 2 strikes. And still 2. And let's get that punch out. There it is. Okay, but not without giving up that solo home run. So home runs do happen, as I said. Okay, I don't want to keep going too far with this game, but I want to see if I could maybe induce a double play here. So let's just say there is a runner on first right now. We'll just go ahead and give him a free runner like in modern baseball, right? Now here we go. We're going to go hit. That might even be a bullseye, but we're going to call it a hit. Oh, I missed him. I was going for the out at second, but I ended up in the strike zone. So what that would mean is the runner is safe at first and one strike on the next batter. Had I not missed him, I could have aimed at first and got a double play. If I say I hit second and then first, it would have been a double play. But as it stands, we have runners at first and second, and I have one dart left in my hand. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go somewhere safe. There's a strike. So I got 2 strikes on the batter. And there's a strikeout. So I have 1 out. I have two darts left in my hand. Let's see if I can just be crazy aggressive right now. What happens? There's a hit, and I'm going to go for that lead runner at third. Yeah, let's just pretend I got him. Yay. Okay, so what that would end up doing is I had the strikeout already on the one batter, and I just got the runner out at third, but that runner moved up to second, and the batter reached first. So we still got a runner at first and second and 2 outs. And since it's the third out, I'm just going to go for the out area. That's a ball. That's a foul, strike, and we'll say that's an out. So that's a good example of how sometimes you throw people out at third even. Okay, folks, so I think that about wraps it up. In the interest of time and storage space, I think you've seen about all you needed to see in order to get started with the game. You saw strikeouts, flyouts, throwouts, home runs, bullseyes, and even a little double play simulation in there. You also saw a stolen base and a sacrifice, which doesn't happen as often. So there's really not a lot more to it. Of course, I will do my best to answer any questions that anybody might have, but please make sure that you watch all the videos before asking me anything. I don't want the comments to get flooded with questions that are easily answered by one of the videos. I'm really interested to hear what people think. My goal in all this has always been to just bring this game back to life. I hope that one day people start playing this game all over the world again and maybe starting leagues. So if you are in a dart league playing cricket darts, I'm sure that some of your teammates might be interested in giving this game a try again now that you know a actually competitive way of playing it. I also would appreciate all the support you can give me by liking and subscribing, because then I can probably make this channel a little bigger, maybe start making some more detailed videos, get some better equipment, use some editing software, because you can see right now I'm really just working with a phone and a microphone. So yeah, let's blow it up together. Make your own channels if you want to. I'm pretty much just happy to be the guy that got it all started. So have fun and play darts.